What if I told you that some of your most beloved go-to restaurant chains, the very places that defined your childhood memories and late-night cravings, are on the brink? That the golden arches might be tarnishing, the red lobster claws are losing their grip, and the familiar faces behind the counter are fading into the past? It sounds like a culinary apocalypse, doesn't it? But the truth is, the restaurant industry is a brutal battlefield, and even the biggest players aren't immune to the winds of change. Today, we're pulling back the curtain on the shocking reality facing 10 colossal restaurant chains that are, quite frankly, falling apart right before our very eyes. A closer look at the casual dining crisis, Red Lobster, the endless shrimp that sank a ship. Our first stop takes us to the high seas of casual dining, where the once mighty Red Lobster is navigating treacherous waters. Remember the endless shrimp? It was a dream for seafood lovers, but for Red Lobster, it became a financial nightmare. In 2024, the chain filed for bankruptcy, a move that saw approximately 130 locations shuttered across the nation. Fast forward to early 2026, and the CEO, Damola Adamolican, is openly admitting that the chain still needs to get smaller, hinting at even more closures to come. The endless shrimp promotion, while popular with customers, reportedly led to an $11 million loss, exacerbating existing issues like high rents and declining foot traffic. It's a stark reminder that even the most enticing offers can lead to financial ruin if not managed carefully. TGI Fridays, a relic of casual dining, passed. Next up, we have TGI Fridays, a brand synonymous with casual American dining and those iconic red and white stripes. But the party seems to be over for this once thriving establishment. By 2025, after a series of closures, fewer than 100 TGI Fridays locations remained in operation across the nation. The chain filed for bankruptcy in November 2024, a casualty of what analysts describe as capital structure failures and a struggle to maintain relevance in an increasingly competitive market. While there are whispers of a grand revamp and an ambitious plan to expand to 1,000 locations, the current reality paints a grim picture for this casual dining veteran. Wendy's, the square burger's shrinking footprint. Even the titans of fast food aren't immune. Wendy's, famous for its square patties and frosty treats, announced significant closures throughout 2026. We're talking about an estimated 140 to 358 locations, representing 5 to 6% of their entire U.S. footprint. CEO Ken Cook openly stated that these were underperforming locations that weren't elevating the brand. The closures are a direct response to declining U.S. sales and net income, highlighting the intense pressure even well-established fast food giants face in maintaining profitability and market share. Denny's, the diner's last stand. The beloved 24/7 diner Denny's is also feeling the squeeze. By February 2026, approximately 300 Denny's locations are slated for closure. The chain recently went private in a $620 million deal, a move that often signals a need for significant restructuring away from public scrutiny. High labor costs, persistent inflation, and a noticeable shift in late-night dining habits have all contributed to Denny's struggles, forcing them to reevaluate their extensive network of diners. Starbucks, the urban exodus. It might surprise you to see Starbucks on this list, given its ubiquitous presence. However, the coffee giant is undergoing a strategic restructuring that involves closing around 400 locations by 2026. The primary drivers behind these closures are the shift away from urban centers due to remote work, increased competition from independent coffee shops, and the identification of underperforming urban stores. Starbucks is adapting to a new landscape, but not without significant pruning of its less profitable branches. FAT, brands, a billion-dollar burden. Our next entry is not a single chain, but a conglomerate of familiar names like Fatburger, Johnny Rockets, and Twin Peaks, all under the umbrella of FAT Brands. On January 27, 2026, FAT Brands filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy, staggering under a colossal debt of $1.3 to $1.45 billion, with a mere $2.1 million in cash on hand. This financial implosion is a cautionary tale of aggressive acquisitions leading to unsustainable debt, compounded by legal woes and high interest rates. It's a stark reminder that rapid expansion without a solid financial foundation can lead to a spectacular collapse. Outback Steakhouse, Bloomin' Brands turnaround challenge Outback. Steakhouse, a long-standing favorite for steaks and bloomin' onions, is also facing significant headwinds. Its parent company, Bloomin' Brands, closed over 40 locations in late 2025, bringing the total number of Outback restaurants down from 750 to fewer than 670. Many of these closures were due to lease expirations and underperforming locations. Bloomin' Brands is now in a declared turnaround mode, attempting to revitalize its portfolio amidst a challenging casual dining environment. Hooters, the fading allure. Hooters, a brand built on its unique service model, is struggling to maintain its appeal in a changing cultural landscape. The company filed for bankruptcy in March 2025 and has been steadily closing locations, with dozens shuttered in 2024 and 2025, and the last Long Island location closing in February 2026. High operating costs, an aging brand image, and evolving consumer preferences have all contributed to Hooters' decline, proving that even a distinctive concept needs to adapt to survive. Papa John's, the pizza wars, take their toll. The pizza delivery wars are fierce, and Papa John's is feeling the heat. The chain closed over 150 locations in 2024, with dozens more following suit in 2025 and 2026. This aggressive downsizing is a direct consequence of declining same-store sales, the escalating costs of delivery, and intense competition from rivals like Domino's. Papa John's is now focused on cost-cutting measures and trying to find its footing in a highly saturated market. Noodles & Company, searching for a niche. Finally, we turn our attention to Noodles & Company, a fast casual chain that once held promise but is now struggling to find its niche. In 2025, the company closed 42 locations, and it's been widely listed as a chain likely to go dark in 2026. Like many others, Noodles & Company has been hit hard by inflation and rising labor costs, making it difficult to compete in the crowded fast casual segment. Whoa, that's a lot of restaurant drama, right? It's almost enough to make you want to cook at home. But before you dust off that old cookbook, let me ask you this. What's your favorite restaurant memory? Was it a first date at TGI Fridays, a family celebration at Red Lobster, or a quick lunch at Wendy's? Share your stories in the comments below. We'd love to hear about the good times before the financial storm clouds gathered. Why are so many chains struggling? So what's causing this widespread turmoil in the restaurant industry? It's not just one factor, but a perfect storm of economic pressures and shifting consumer behaviors. Let's break down some of the key culprits: inflation and supply chain woes. The cost of ingredients, from beef to seafood, has skyrocketed. Restaurants are caught between absorbing these costs and passing them on to customers, risking alienating their loyal base. Supply chain disruptions also mean inconsistent availability and higher prices for essential goods. Labor shortages and rising wages. The restaurant industry has been particularly hard hit by labor shortages, leading to increased wages and benefits to attract and retain staff. While good for employees, this significantly impacts a restaurant's bottom line, especially for chains operating on thin margins. Changing consumer habits. The pandemic accelerated a shift towards delivery and takeout, and while many chains adapted, it also introduced new costs and complexities. Furthermore, consumers are increasingly health-conscious and value experiences over traditional sit-down meals, putting pressure on casual dining establishments to innovate. Mounting debt and aggressive expansion. As seen with FAT Brands, some companies took on massive debt for rapid expansion, leaving them vulnerable when economic conditions soured. The pursuit of growth at all costs can often lead to an unsustainable financial structure. Loss of brand identity and relevance. In a crowded market, maintaining a unique and compelling brand identity is crucial. Some older chains have struggled to adapt their menus, decor, and overall appeal to younger generations, leading to a gradual erosion of their customer base. The rise of fast casual and niche concepts. The success of fast casual restaurants, offering higher quality food than traditional fast food but at a more affordable price point than casual dining, has siphoned off customers. Niche concepts, focusing on specific cuisines or dietary needs, also offer compelling alternatives. The road ahead. Adaptation or extinction. The future of these struggling chains is far from certain. For some, like Red Lobster and TGI Fridays, a successful turnaround hinges on drastic restructuring and a clear vision for reinvention. For others, like Boston Market, the writing may already be on the wall, with only a handful of locations clinging to existence. The restaurant industry is a dynamic beast, constantly evolving, and those unwilling or unable to adapt will inevitably be left behind. So what do you think? Will these iconic brands manage to pull themselves back from the brink, or are we witnessing the end of an era for some of our favorite eateries? The next time you're deciding where to grab a bite, remember the stories behind these struggling giants. And hey, if you've got a secret recipe for success for any of these chains, or just want to share your thoughts on the future of dining, let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe for more fascinating insights, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss our next deep dive into the world around us. Until next time, keep those taste buds tingling and stay curious.